almost there.
Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron channel. Welcome to Massive Iron Live. It is, what day is it? It's June 10th. Happy June 10th. Glad you guys are here. Welcome to Massive Iron Live. For those of you guys tuning in, I'm here every Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern. Let's let YouTube figure out how to tell everybody that Massive Iron is live. We're live. How you guys doing today? It's actually a pretty nice weekend here in Ohio, and they're having a country music festival straight outside of my window. That's part of the fun of being in the downtown area. Last week they had a Criterion bike race all day long in front of my window, right? Criterion bike race. So let me know where you guys tune in from, what you're doing this weekend, doing anything fun, getting in trouble, lifting weights, running marathons, doing kettlebells, whatever the hell you're doing. It's funny. This video makes me look smaller, where the one downstairs makes me look much wider and older. It's funny how the camera can do that. But just a few notes, guys, before we get into things. I'm here every Friday at 11 Eastern. If your comment doesn't go through, it's not me ignoring you. It is the wonderful YouTubes. So if your messages don't go through, you can join Team Massive here for one, or you can hit me up on Instagram, app and the barman. Slide into my DM, just like that. Slide into my DM. All right, so it's Friday, and I want to lead off real quick and talk about Sean Nalewanyj. Let me see if I can do this. Sean Nalewanyj, and should we do it like that? Should we do it like that? Should we do it like that? Sean, how about like this? Yeah. So anyway, Sean Nalewanyj made a TikTok, basically about turkesterone. And Greg made a video saying goofball influencer. You know, Sean's probably one of the most respected, and I want to hear what you guys have to think about this. Sean's probably one of the most respected YouTubers. Talked to him a little bit this week, not a lot, but trying to get him on my podcast. And I respect Sean. That aside, you know, just because I respect Sean doesn't mean I'm doing witch hunts on Greg. But let's just watch the video here for a few seconds. Let's see if we can hear this.
Natural steroid is nothing more than bullshit marketing lingo that goofball influencers use. You want to make a video saying it doesn't work? Where's your evidence? There is no evidence to say that turkesterone doesn't work. I double dog dare you.
Oh, not the double dog dare. Not the double dog dare. So look, a couple things I want to talk about. Let's see. Let's try Instagram here. Oops. Let's just remove this until we can get it figured out. Let's a couple things I want to talk about. I can't type this morning. A couple things I want to talk about. I shared on my Instagram. And I just want to talk about supplements in general. Let's see if I can pull this up, if you guys can see this. Whoops. So I said turkesterone, you can tell a lot about a man by what they go to war over. Sean wars against a supplement with no proven efficacy that exists in an industry filled with a history of trash. And Greg wars against the backlash, proclaiming the burden of proof, the burden to prove him wrong. The burden is on the critic. The burden is actually not on the critic. And I went on to say, I've been on this bus for 38 years, and I've worked in the supplement industry for over 12 years. We've all seen it all. Look, we've all seen product hype, right? And the burden of proof really is on turkesterone. I did some research this weekend and saw an early study from 2003. So it's not like this is new on the radar. It's been around for at least scientifically looked at for at least 19 years, longer. I didn't dive into it too long, but there is something called Hitchum's razor, which means what may be asserted without, or which goes on to say what may be asserted without evidence may be dismissed without evidence. So basically, the burden of proof is on the folks to prove that turkesterone really works. It's not on the critics. And Carl Sagan went on to say, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And that's true. Look, there are many folks. The counter argument is let me just stop that screen. For turkesterone is that it could work. It could work, right? That's a possibility. It could work. But here's my stance, and you guys can let me know your thoughts. In 50 years of muscle building supplements outside of protein supplements, okay? Outside of protein powders and protein bars and mass gainers, protein, outside of protein and vitamins, which we know are essential, there's only been one supplement that's really been established in 50 years to be worth your money, and that is creatine. And even then, creatine provides a minor benefit, and the good thing about creatine is it doesn't cost a lot. So if you look at the span of 50 years, and we're rational, reasonable human beings, and we're trying to analyze this logically, this is an attack against Greg. We're just trying to analyze this whole turkesterone thing logically. If you look at the span of 50 years and realize there's only been one real supplement that's really worth your time, that all experts agree upon, it's creatine, and then it's a minor benefit. What's the likelihood that turkesterone is going to pan out? So I'm going to wait till it pans out before I spend my $58. That's all I have to say. So let me know what you guys have to say. Now, let's dive into the Q&A. If you post a question before the live starts at 11, you get a chance to win a free Massive Iron hoodie or Massive Iron t-shirt or Massive Iron coffee mug. There's a Massive Iron coffee mug, and so on and so forth. There's a Massive Iron flag, and there's a Massive Iron shirt. I even have, I got Massive Iron everything. What can I say? There's some Massive Iron books. If you post a question before 11 o'clock, you get a chance to win some free crap. So let's dive in. Stein, back in the saddle again. First up, do you think the super focus on staying lean is making it hard for folks to gain muscle? Yeah, absolutely. Muscle building is hard enough. And anything we put in our path to make it harder, any obstacles we put in our path to make it harder, is not a good thing. Look, we all get that people fear bulking, they fear getting fat, but it's really founded in unreasonable territory. If you bulk reasonably, and the problem with bulking reasonably is that it requires you to watch your calories and you to watch your weight. It's a discipline, and it requires you to be semi-disciplined, consistent in calories. It's something you really have to monitor. And, if you're serious about muscle building, you need to be serious about this discipline to a minimum degree. And look, I started at, 155, 158. Who knows? I wasn't stepping on the scale every damn day. I know I was in that range, so don't quote me, but I started in that range in college. And after a number of years, I got up to like 185, right? So, after like 2.5 years, I'd gained 30 pounds. And I didn't look fat. I had probably 16% body fat, maybe a 3-pack, like a 2.5, almost 4-pack. I look pretty darn good. So if you want to gain mass, the easy route is more calories, better recovery. You're going to feel better. You can attack it in the gym. Progression is going to be better. Progressing on your presses is going to be easier, so on and so forth. So you can do all the, happy magic tricks you want, or try to recreate the wheel. But for those of you that are serious about mass, do a nice control bulk. And if you need help, head over to superlivingtheday.com. I'd love to help you with coaching. I have room for about 5 clients right now. After the pandemic hit, there was there was almost like everyone was looking for help and everyone had a lot of extra cash. So, like client wise, I was about to burst. This year is back to normal, so I do have about 5 client slots available. So if anybody's interested in coaching, you can head over to superlivingtoday.com. It's only $80 a month. We talk on the phone. We set up a workout plan. We set up a plan of attack. It's a 3-month commitment, so on and so forth. So please consider it. Now, Rico, hello, massive family. Hello, Rico. How's it going? How to mix 10 miles a week of running while still gaining muscle and strength. 10 miles is about 16 kilometers, if my calculations are correct. That's not a lot at all. And I'm not minimizing it. That's a reasonable amount to run. You don't have to be an endurance runner. So that's a reasonable amount to run. Maybe 3 runs a week, 4 miles, 2.5, 5 miles, whatever you slice it and dice it. That's not enough really to cause much of a recovery issue. Really, if you're a 10-minute miler, you're pretty a slow turtle. That's 100 minutes a week of running. That's really not a lot. So I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't over worry about it. The only thing you really need to know is I try not to run the day before posterior work. I want my legs, my glutes, my hammies, everything to be fresh. So posterior, RDLs, deadlifts, squats, good mornings, that sort of thing. Posterior is the back of your body. And I'm not specifically talking about your upper back, but more your quads, which is anterior, I know. But your lower body and posterior, your glutes, your hammies. You want to be fresh in the lower body and your glutes and hammies and hips and all that kind of thing heading into deadlifts and squats. So my only advice is to not really run the day before squats or deads. I sometimes run in the morning and then do squats and deads in the afternoon, but my conditioning level is up there. You can do that as well as long as you feel recovered. Richard Murray from Scotland. Have a great weekend, you too. And don't forget to join Team Massive. You guys can head over to superlivingtoday.com and join Team Massive. It's a one-time fee, but we have a lot of things going over there. It's like micro coaching. You can ask me questions. I respond to my questions. I do form critiques. We just have a good troll-free community, so please consider it. We'd love to have you. Rico, how's the new office equipment, everything around the house coming? It's getting there. I got to get my new camera set up. I got a couple different camera options. And where's the other one? The other one's in hiding. Where are you? Let's see if I can reach it. There we go. I got it. I got this thing, which is going to be coming out as soon as I can figure out how to use it. It's a Canon EOS something or other camera, Father's Day gift. $600. That's a big chunk of change for me to spend, but we're gonna try to use that. So we're working on that. I'm slowly working on it. But the biggest step up is this. I moved my office right here so you guys can see me better, because for a while, right live was super dark. And I've been working on my video editing skills. And sometimes when I put in my little memes and GIFs, trigger some people, but hey, I'm having fun with it. Have you seen the new Top Gun yet? Not yet, but everybody is telling me it's amazing. And we're going to see it as soon as we can. It's on our to-do list. What we're looking at doing is finding, one thing we like to do is find these theaters that are in small towns, like these old theaters. And we like to go watch movies in these old theaters during matinee times, when no one's there. It's kind of a fun experience. So that's my thing. Don't judge. Eric Redbeard for hypertrophy. If you think you can't get 5 reps on the next set, would it be better to drop the weight? What does drop the weight mean? I need to know context, but I'm not a big fan of dropping the weight, but 5 reps is pretty low. So I'd have to know the context of the lift and the general progression approach and how many sets and reps you're doing. But if you're doing like 3 sets, straight sets, or not straight sets, but you're doing 3 sets AMRAP. Let's say someone has 185 on bench, right? And they're doing max reps, which is pretty safe on bench. You're not going to die. You're not going to deflate a testicle, right? So they had, say, 11 and then 7 and then 4. What we would have to look at in that case is 11 plus 7 is 18 plus 4 is 22. Is 22 a reasonable amount of reps for 3 sets on the bench press? Yeah, it's a little over 7. It's not bad. So we have to look at a couple factors. Overall rep total, which is reasonable, and the fact that you just trained 3 sets hard, very hard on bench. So that's a bonus as well. So in that type of scenario, you would not drop weight because, I mean, you could, if you want to fight back up, like you could drop another 5 pounds and maybe get 12, 8, 6, but you're going to have to move up. You're going to have some progression trigger. And at some point when you hit your progression trigger and you move up in weight, reps are going to drop a little bit. And at that point, it's time to fight back up. Now, if you're in a cut and reps are dropping, you might need to drop weight a little bit. And obviously there's many other cases where my blanket statement might not just hold water. So Brennan Bowman, for chest mass, dumbbell bench or dumbbell. Let's use our dumbbells. Dumbbell bench or barbell. If I don't do that game, Brennan, I don't do that game at all. The answer is both. In the real world, we have access, and I'm not discounting, I'm not tearing into you, Brendan, but in the real world, we can make that happen. We can have barbells or dumbbells. It's not an impossible challenge. And even if we have to sell a kidney on the black market to get some dumbbells for our home gym. So the answer is both. I don't like the either or game, especially with scenarios that aren't insurmountable or impossible. The answer is absolutely both, with things like dips and push-ups and a machine chest press and maybe pec deck as well. Big Thomas Mitchell, how's it going? Morning, Massive Iron family. Josh, focus on overall mass after a cut or focus on muscles I want to bring up? Well, you need to have a base serve. If you want to do a specialization program, that's fine. Basically, the way a specialization program goes is you have it's hard to do this right here. It's on the opposite side. You have all your muscle groups here and the specialization muscle groups here. So if you want to specialize and do more volume, you have to pull back a little bit just so you're not in the gym, like 2 hours a day. So if you add, 6 sets during a specialization program to your triceps or chest, you're going to have to kind of pull down the volume a little bit on other things. On the other things, you're still going to be training with an equal degree of intensity, like you normally would. So that's kind of how things work in my world, if that makes sense. Where are we? Flat barbell bench and incline barbell, 3 sets each twice a week. I wouldn't do them. I would not consider that to be an optimal program. You do have some variation, which is good, but I would get some dumbbells in there. Get some dumbbells if you don't have dumbbells. Try to get this 12-inch spin locks at Walmart or wherever. They're relatively cheap, and start buying some standard plates for them. You can probably get a pretty nice setup for $200, and again, sell your kidneys on the black market, or whatever you want to do. But I would not consider that optimal. It's not because it's barbell, but you need a little bit more variation. If you could work dips in, dumbbells, even worse case, a lot of my clients, I have them do dips and push-ups supersets, or flying push-ups supersets, or pec deck, but I'm assuming you work out at home. So try to get at least a little bit more variation in. Invisible, have a nice day as well. And Giuseppe, hope all as well. Tips for getting big delts. I spoke about this yesterday on social media, and wow, I had some big names responding: Brian Borstein and Paul Carter, and it was a pretty good discussion. And I said side laterals were sprinkles on the icing on the cake, and I stand by that comment because number one, most anybody that has big delts has spent time working their overhead presses, even if they don't do them a lot now. Number two, so if you just do side laterals, you're not going to see much progress just on an island by themselves. Even Paul Carter said dumbbells and dumbbells and machines are his favorite, which is fair. So tips for getting big side delts: you need at least 2 big hitters a week, dumbbell, barbell, machine, and you need to, just progress on them safely. I like seated overhead press variations. They provide less lower back strain. Generally, you can lift about 10% more weight, and they're just a little bit more stable. So that's my best advice. And on this channel, if you go to the main page and hit the search button and just hit delts or shoulders, you're going to get a book's worth of information. And that's the best route that I can help you guys with. Doc Yak. Hopefully the question goes through. I can see this, but not the question. I can see another post for you coming up. Woodulus, will Freak McBeef ever make a comeback? I don't know. Back in the early days, I don't know if I can find Freak McBeef. Back in the early days of YouTube, my kids, for Halloween, somewhere along the line, I accrued a Afro wig. I don't know how politically correct it is in this environment, but it's just a wig, right? It's just a wig. So let me mute this and see if I can find it here. So back in the early days, my daughter was in the room with me a lot of times when I was doing YouTube. We had it was just a funny, wacky thing you would do. I had the Afro wig, the Freak McBeef wig, and here's kind of, I don't know, do I got this muted? I don't know if it has music or not. If it does, it'll block me from the YouTubes. That's Freak McBeef. Very exciting. That was Freak McBeef. So yeah. That was Freak McBeef. Very. I doubt Freak McBeef will ever make a comeback. I don't know where the Afro wig is. But the few Freak McBeef videos I did, I think he's had a good long career. Thomas, will you ever offer in-person training sessions again? We did 3 years ago. We did the massive iron retreat, and man, was it fun! We had a lot of people show up. We were in a cab. We rented a big cabin. We basically, had a fee for folks to come, but they got all the food all weekend, a 3-day weekend. So basically, we got a huge cabin, that slept like 15 people. We got tons of food. We went out. We did. I took people on hiking tours of the best hikes in Ohio. By day, at night, we'd sit around the campfire and we would eat and maybe drink a few beers. Who knows, right? Accidentally. And it was a lot of fun. It was just a blast. We got to get a bunch of random people together from across the country, and we had a blast. So we're thinking about either doing that again now that the pandemic is over, or when we travel, doing meetups. In-person training, here's the honest truth. Like, I worked till 2:15 last night. That's what these are for, these bags. I worked until 2:15 last night doing client messages. My career, what I do for work, is client stuff. So I'm always working. if I take a day off, I come back to literally over 500 client messages. And I love doing this. This is what I love doing. And if you calculate the rate, look, I sell ebooks, I sell shirts, I make YouTube money. I sell books. I got my books right there. Muscle and Brawn Archives. I got a cookbook. I got a logbook. I got all that stuff right up here. I even wrote kids' books right here. Sherman Oak and the Magic Potato, and the Santa Mysteries, which you can find on Amazon under S. William Shaw. You got all these little pools of income. So basically, long story short, anybody that really has 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and has a moderately successful business, to take 2 hours out of the day to do in-person training, just, you'd have to charge a lot of money. And if I had clients that want to come down for an off session, yes, but we're just so busy right now. We're just not ready for that. Basically, this year we're going to be looking at a property next year. I looked at a property this year that had a garage, kind of a workplace as big as my house, and you could put a whole gym in there and train and do farmers walks and all kinds of stuff. So I'm looking for a property next year that's like that, so people can come down and I can have my own gym on my property. So we'll see what happens. For some reason, it blocks the questions. You're not alone. It does that for me on a lot of channels as well. Did you see Jessica Butner's world record deadlift? Yes, and I believe I actually showed it a couple 2-3 weeks ago on here. I can't remember though. Maybe it was on Team Massive. And his not that bad. What? Don't know what I'm not sure what you're referencing, Raphael. Can't see. Is there a chance that Greg Doucette's a bit misunderstood? Not on this topic. Greg is supporting. We're not bashing on him. We're not doing a personal attack. But Turkesterone has no scientific benefit, proven scientific benefit. So you can't put the burden of proof on the critic, especially in the supplement industry. So Greg definitely misstepped here. I should just buy Turk and see once and for all. No, just coach, save the money and let me coach you. It's a better investment. We'll talk on the phone. I'll set you up a workout. You get to work with me for 3 months. Even my mom would say that's a good deal. You guys, look, honestly, me, anybody, you guys are better off spending that money on a good coach. Really. You really are. Don't buy that stuff. It's not gonna increase your natural potential. It's not even gonna amplify your gains. So we've hit the 11 o'clock mark, and I get to pick a winner. I'm gonna pick Giuseppe. Giuseppe, you're a frequent flyer. If you hit me up on Instagram, let me see if at Ben the Barman, or if you head over to, you can email me, benthebarman@gmail.com. I'll give you a free t-shirt or hoodie or Team Massive membership. So congratulations. Where were we? All right, here we are. Chris G. Upper lower split Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And Saturday is typically a flex day. That's how I do it with a lot of clients. For those of you guys wondering what a flex day is, you can do upper lowers Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or you could cycle them between Monday, 3 days a week. So you're doing 3 workouts, and then a kind of a junk flex day on Saturday. A lot of my clients, we do, what's a junk day? Well, you can do extra arm work, calf work, rear delt work, whatever extra stuff you feel you don't have time to do, during your regular workouts. If I wanted to use that flex day to specialize in a movement, how should I handle volume and intensity? Well, if you're going to specialize in something, you want to increase the volume a little bit. So you have 3 points on a triangle: volume, which is volume of sets or volume of reps; intensity, which is weight relative to your 1 rep max. 90% of your 1 rep max is more intense, 80% is less intense. So you have volume, you have intensity, and you have frequency. How frequent you're doing these things. So if you increase the volume, you really shouldn't be increasing 2 variables at the same time. Increasing volume and frequency is going to be hard to recover from. Increasing volume and intensity is going to be hard to recover from. So I would increase volume. If you want to add extra volume, I would add it on the Saturday to that lift. Beyond that, it would really require some peeking under the hood. Big Johnny Mills, GVS, Jeffrey Verity Schofield seems to work out to failure. Is this the way to go? Well, for most of my career, I've pushed many of my sets while I was doing my muscle building for max safe reps. I don't like to use the word failure because we do not do black or white. We do not say push all exercises to failure. We say push all exercises for max safe reps. On squats and deadlifts, that might be 2, sometimes 3 reps in the tank. And for bench, you could safely almost push to failure, mechanical failure, form failure on everything. So the rep goal system, which is in my book, Massive Iron, revolves around pushing sets for max safe reps. And most of my clients push about 50 sets for max safe reps. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of it. Harut, what's going on, Harut? And Ahmed, hello from Algeria. Big Bob Miller, did you see Jessica Butner's performance? I did. Champion Sound, what's going on, Champion? And Danielle, creatine, hella expensive nowadays. I haven't even checked it out, to be honest. I don't know what it is. You guys can let me know what the price is on that there creatines, because I'm not sure. Scott McNabb, if I'm paying money for a supplement, I need more than it could work, but we can't prove it right. If I'm going to buy a supplement, I don't want to. This is not Greg Doucette to say anybody. I'm not going to have him sit on TV or YouTube or whatever and say, buy this. I think it works, and anybody else can prove me wrong. Like, nah, that's not how it works. But in the supplement industry, in the lifting industry, it can be like, yeah, that's how it works. I'm right there. Like, hell no. I'm not paying money for that shit. Like, if you got disposable cash and we don't want to give it a test run, go ahead. Go ahead. You just, you're not the devil. You're not Satan. You're not evil. But look, the supplement industry has a long history of picking people's pockets with bullshit claims. And before you get your wig all in a knot, remember, I worked in the supplement industry for 12 years. I wasn't a supplement shill. I did content development and articles and video development and article writing, article editing, writer recruitment. Look, in 12 years in the supplement industry, I've seen some bullshit. I've seen a mountain of bullshit that I can't even talk about. In fact, when I left my last job, they were like, you better not talk about it, we'll sue you. That's real. I have a non-disparagement contract. They didn't like verbally threaten me like, but they made it very, very clear that if I talked about anything, that they could sue me. Okay? How do you like that for your job? That's the supplement industry. I worked in that shithole for 12 years, and look, it gave me a great career. But I got to do articles and editing and writing about workouts and stuff and all the fun stuff. But I'll tell you what, the stuff I saw in the supplement industry, I'll tell you something I saw early on. Okay, there was a big protein company that I used and I promoted. I loved the taste. And It wasn't a brand that was made by one of my employers. It was just an outside brand. Okay. It was pretty big back then, 10, 12 years ago. And I had everybody drink it, and the sales on this protein powder were great. They were great. We came to find out that this protein powder had only 12 grams of protein per scoop, not 24 like it said on the label, but 12. We found that out. Okay. So I know stores in the supplement industry, big box stores, online stores that knew this, but kept selling the protein powder to you guys. They knew it. They kept selling shit to you that they knew only had 12 grams of protein per scoop because they did not give a fuckity fuck boat about you and your fucking money. I also know a company that dumped it in the garbage. That was Tiger Fitness, where I used to work at. So there are good supplement companies that are bad, but I have seen a lot of crap like that, folks. I've seen a lot of crap like that. And it happens. So if you've seen what I've seen, just to have anybody, and this is not an attack on Greg, but to have anybody sit on YouTube and go, wait, burn up, prove it out, and like, fuck no. No. You should, rule number one, don't ever trust a supplement claim. Hell no. Hell no. You want to spend your money on it, fine. But you need to know going in that you are walking in a minefield, a mine, kaboom, called the supplement industry that has a track record of excessive bullshit. Wake up, people. That doesn't mean turkesterone is bullshit, but you're in a minefield of bullshit, and you want to spend your money and you want to walk in that minefield, you better fucking know you're walking in a minefield. And you don't, not for a second do you think that companies are out there in your best interests, right? Because I've seen companies that do not give a fuck about your money, and they know the product is absolute shit. And instead of sending it back, they continue to sell it to take your money while they can. That's robbery. Hey, team, listen. Whoa, we just went off on that one. Hey, team, listening while on the road. I hope I didn't blow you out in your car, and thanks for tuning in. If you believe it works, it will. Yeah, Sean Nalewanyj had some good information in that video about some of the sugar pill, placebo things. And there's something called the training effect, where as a trainer, as a coach, this is a real thing. You're not messing with people, but it's a real thing. If you give somebody a new protocol, which is basically the same exercise on a different set of rep scheme or progression approach, they're usually going to progress better because it's a new thing and there's more motivation. It's human nature. So if you give somebody a new supplement and, that newness, that excitement, they're probably going to see better progress. That's the way it works. Mickey Chan, hello, guys. Hey, Mickey, how's it going? I need to write that down, do a video about it. Somebody remind me. I agree the burden of proof argument. The seller needs to prove that it works. The maybe yes, maybe no thing stinks. Yeah, I just went over it, and you guys can process it, however you want. You guys can form your own opinion and spend your money how you want. I'd prefer you spend your money on coaching because I worked my damn ass off. I was up to 213 last night. Yeah, I know weekly check-in bullshit here. Not being allowed to bench recently due to elbow pain. Is there any exercise that's close to benching for chest growth? Yeah. I don't know the extent of your injury, so I don't know if it's limited to a barbell bench. Beyond that, you have the plate-loaded chest press, the dumbbell bench. You have dips, push-ups, supersets. You have pec deck, which has a pretty good progression window. But I would have to learn more. I suspect if you have elbow pain, it might bother all pressing. So that's a tough road. Andreas, Derek from MPMD seems to be in favor of various Turk. You know, I get this. Like, no matter what I say, this is not backlash against you, Andreas. Okay, but I want to explain something here. No matter what I say, and I was thinking about this last night. This is a reality in fitness. No matter what you say, even if it's very, very reasonable, or even if it's backed by 1,000 lifters who have done it, you're always going to get a comment. But 3 people said, yeah, you know, if Derek's in favor of, that's great, but that doesn't take away from the reality. You know, that we still have to prove it, and we're still in a landmine called the supplement industry. Soy sauce banana, not during, but affecting you after the workout. Missed the first part of that. Sorry. Hello, Bill Monte. How's it going, Bill? Appreciate you joining in. Ryan, is it normal to slightly shrug during T-bars? It can be. Don't overthink it, though, Ryan. I mean, a compound movement's a compound movement, so you don't want to compartmentalize it, like try to turn it into just, you know, one thing. One of the cancers in the bodybuilding industry is that they try to turn every lift into something that just works one body part. Focus on the big picture. Focus on like the shotgun approach where you're blasting all over the body, right? So it's okay to you know, have different things at play other than the traps, if that makes sense. As long as you're getting stronger and you have pretty solid form. Big Bill, a bulk for 4 months and ended up in a week, ending it a week early, but I still look pretty lean. Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, you don't want to be the flubbity flub man, you know, the flibber flabber flubby man, the with like 230 pounds bulking. You gotta get some of that fat off. You know, and if you're big to begin with, you know, and you're afraid to bulk because you don't want to get fat, you probably need to lose some weight first. Bulk does not mean staying lean. You're just going up in weight. And most of that weight, if you're training properly, is going to be muscle. Even if it's not, if you do these controlled 8 to 10 pound bulks, and 10's a pretty reasonable number. You know, it can take you 3, 4, 5 months, whatever. You're still going to be training for a long period of time. It's, you know, you're not gaining a lot of weight, and anybody can crush a 10-pound cut, right? You know, a 10-pound cut isn't like, once you get up to like 20 pounds, you know, you're looking at like multiple months, you know, like 2.5 months if in a perfect world. In the real world, you know, probably 3. But 10 pounds is pretty manageable. Vinny P. What's up? Getting back into the groove after injuries isn't fun. No, it isn't. It's awful. It's one of the worst things in lifting when you have an injury and you got to grind and grind and grind just to get back up to speed. Rick, 00. Can high intensity, high rep work reap the same strength benefits as heavy, low rep workouts? Anything you do with progress in a reasonable rep range is going to build strength. I built my strength in basically everything from 7+ reps for 20 years. So do what you need to do. Just keep an eye on overall weekly volume, set volume, rep volume, and keep progression moving. Ahmed, sumo versus regular in terms of safety and effectiveness. In terms of safety, it's generally better for the average individual on their lower back, but they have to get their form right. On the sumo, you need to get your butt down more and your head more upright, or else you're just going to be pulling it like conventional and you're going to have an equal amount of lower back strain. Is it more effective? As effective? Generally, it's less effective for hypertrophy in the hypertrophy world. That don't panic. Less effective doesn't mean not effective. When we're talking less effective, you can mean like a small degree. We're not talking about a big degree. Okay, so just slightly less effective. Not just my opinion; it's opinion I've heard from many coaches. So take that for what it's worth. Is there a benefit to doing 5 sets of an exercise instead of 3 per session? Here's the thing. each exercise is different. So this is what I talk about: evolving training based on needs. Some exercises I only like to do 1 or 2 sets, like dumbbell rows and RDLs. 2 sets done. Way physically demanding. I want to save some energy and focus for the rest of my workout. Then I get on to like lat pulls or seated cable rows. And even though I'm working them hard, physically they're not super intense, physically crushing my soul exercises. So sometimes I like to do 4 or even 5 sets. This week on back, I did 4 sets for T-bar rows, lat pull downs, machine rows, in addition to my other back work. So you can do things on an exercise per exercise basis. Just understand that each exercise is different. And with that in mind, you can adjust exercise by exercise. Don't go in and say, I'm going to change everything to 5 sets, because that's a good way to kick yourself in the cojones. All right, guys, we're 45 minutes in. Keep the questions coming. If you're new here, don't be shy about asking questions. There are no dumb questions, no stupid questions, just awkward questions and weird questions. I've been thinking, and I'm probably going tonight to thinking about doing something different. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Why? Why not? I had somebody on Instagram say, I thought you were going to try to set the over 55 powerlifting world record. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, my old self. I'm thinking about it, but I'm not, jumping into jiu-jitsu with the goal of being a world-class champion. I just want to take a couple classes, see if I like it. All right, where were we? Bill. Going from 6 to 10 rep scheme to 4x8 on bench, that's reasonable. Say 6, 10, 8 was progression on the old scheme is 4. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. Like on the big hitting lifts, like bench and squats and deads, I always like to do a little bit lighter rep range. Like my power muscle burn, power muscle block workouts are set up like that. I like to do a lower volume per set, or lower reps per set. And it's exercise by exercise. I've changed a little bit over the years, but it's definitely reasonable. What's your opinion on taking extra rest day when you didn't sleep? Yeah, I'm all for it. If you're consistent with your training, taking an extra rest day here and there has really no downside, only potential upside. So as long as you're consistent, and you're not missing, only working out twice a week for extended periods of time, inserting an extra rest day here and there when you need sleep or recovery is a good thing. I'd rather have that than people trying to do 800, workouts a week. What's up? What's your opinion on taking? Oh, sorry, we did that. What's up? I know. Whenever I get somebody with, like a name that they just want me to say, and he said the name Johnny Coxwell. There's your thrill for the day. Go about your business and make joy and merriment that I said your name. I'm paying $40 for a $10 tub of creatine. Whoa, that's expensive. Would I do that? Nope. I would not. Do LOL. Harut, it works. Doesn't mean anything. You need to quantify something. Would you pay $100 a month for a 1% improvement? That's the question, Harut. That's the big question. With creatine, you had a low cost. So therefore, investing a low price into a product that had a 0.1% improvement might be worth it. But if you're going to spend a lot of money on a product that might be worth, look, even if turkesterone is shown to be as effective as creatine, it's still way more expensive. B, it's not going to give you any more progress naturally than you would. It's not going to push your natural limits. And C, it's way expensive. Way expensive compared to creatine for what you're getting out of it. What's one fitness or muscle building myth that most people believe that you don't? What do they believe, man? There's so many myths. What's a good one? I get a lot of. I think the biggest one is the anti-body part split brainwashing. Like this is something we've talked about in many hypertrophy circles. That there's 1,000 training variables. You can take, this is reasonable to say, okay? You can take 100 people and give them the same workout, unsupervised, and have them go into the gym, and they'll perform it 100 different ways with 100 different degrees of intensity and variables and so on and so forth. So the point of saying this is to emphasize the fact that there are hundreds of training variables. So in that realm, the muscle protein synthesis you must train frequently crowd has elevated one of them to the be-all, end-all. And it's not. It's simply not. It's not the be-all, end-all. It's not. It's far from the only variable. And I've stated this many times over the years. In my time as an editor in the industry, doing body transformations and talking to bodybuilders, back then, 98% of people used body part splits that were successful. That's reality. Sorry, but it is. So people get way over focused on muscle protein synthesis. Even if muscle protein synthesis does give you an advantage, it's teeny, like creatine. And over 4 to 5 years, it's not going to matter, folks. It's not going to matter. Use the split you like. If you're training hard, have a good exercise selection using progressive overload, it will not matter. People want to make it matter, but it doesn't matter. It only matters to people that are trying to sell you specific workouts. I've made hundreds of workouts for clients and probably 100 workouts for free on the internet. Some are full body, some are upper lower, some are push-pull legs, and some are pretty exotic 5-day splits. Doesn't matter. Why do I create different workouts? Because at the end of the day, the workout you like and you're going to attack is the workout you will stick to. Ed Merced, is there any risk of extending a cut? Not really, no. If you are rolling on a cut, rule number 1 for me is keep it rolling. As long as you can stand. There's no risk, no downside. You're not going to damage your metabolism, send your body into shock. All this stuff is nonsense. Keep the questions coming, Ahmed. No problem at all. One more question. Is too much volume the only solution for stubborn calves? Well, the problem, Ahmed, is most people don't train their calves like they do their biceps or chest. So the first war against small calves is to take them seriously and train them like you would any other body part. Progressive overload. When's the last time you saw somebody on social media talk about their sick 1-rep max on seated calf raises? I don't know about me, but I've never seen anybody do that. So you got to be that guy. That's rule number 1. Then worry about volume. Chuck, can you go quads with the goblet squats? It seems to me to be the one leg exercise that does not bother many. It's okay. The problem with the goblet squat is it can be like taxing from a cardiovascular standpoint. It can getting the thing in the position, that's fine. The biggest problem is it can be taxing to get in the position, and you run out of leg room very quickly, meaning you run out of ability to progress. How much weight can you add to a goblet squat? Most adult men, after about 6 months, should be able to goblet squat more weight than they can hold. That's the problem with the goblet squat. Andreas, been sick from allergies. Same here, and a cough for 2 weeks. I'm finally getting over my allergies. They were brutal last week during live. Don't worry about losing muscle. Here's the beautiful thing about muscle is that even if you lose a couple grams or even an ounce, muscle memory is a real thing and you'll get it back. It's like the bank account that automatically replenishes itself. If it's taken out, it'll get put back. Antonio, Gregan tried reinventing the wheel with main gaining and in the end had to admit that it was just a bulk and cut. Yep. Hey, whatever people want to do, whatever they want to label things, I just try to simplify things for you guys. How long can I get gains before I have to bulk? You better start bulking tomorrow. Next question. People say it's hard to progress after 40. I'm 48, been lifting for about a year and a half. I'm making great gains. Should I be progressing this well at my age? I didn't get to my strongest and biggest till near 50. And my physique refinements were small, but I've been lifting for a very long time. Yeah, you can absolutely. The problem with a lot of lifters, and I got a new channel for over 40 lifters called Masterclass, and I'm going to get into this more on that channel, is that over 40 lifters jump into the cult of barbell, where they do so many barbell exercises. They're not doing dumbbell exercises, not doing machines, and they need to really be doing a lot of dumbbells and machines and then working on barbells in the periphery. Once your form is good on barbells, then you can run on those based on how the body feels. No reason why you can't. I took up ultra running at age 50, and I'm not fast, and I'm not pretty to watch. That's for sure. But I can, I've run over 6 marathons. I run over 6 trail marathons per year. I've run multiple 50Ks, 100K. I did 50Ks on back-to-back days, for a big tank, so you can do anything if the mind is strong. Would you consider a tier list of top foods and top exercises? Bald Omni-Man did it for 2022. If you send me the link, I'd be curious to look at it. Or I could do it. I could check my lazy self. I'm open to any ideas you guys would like to see as far as videos. Have you ever done martial arts before? I wrestled. I was a big wrestler in high school and after college. So this was pre UFC, obviously, because I'm a dinosaur. But I was a pretty good wrestler. Now, I'm not going to be like the fake Merc and say I was the Jesus of wrestling, right? But, I could hold my own against 2 out of 3 guys. 1 out of 3 would kick my ass. I was above average-ish. I was pretty good. But the benefit I had was that after resistance training for a year, my strength was much better than most of my opponents. And it was harder for them to deal with that because this is back in 87. Not a lot of guys had my strength levels. I was pretty strong. So it gave me an advantage over my weak athleticism and technique. So some minor wrestling, a few boxing lessons. I did some, I hate to say kung fu. I did a little bit of that, at home, just for movement when I was up living in the woods in the panhandle of Idaho, but nothing serious and prolonged. Andreas, any plans for powerlifting sign-up program? I'm actually working on one right now. I started working on it this week. It was the cycle I first started using when I was a 4-week periodization cycle when I first started messing around with powerlifting. So watch for that. All right, guys, we got 2 questions left. Post up your questions now or we will be hopping off. So last call. Johnny, I enjoyed the Q&As. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate you joining in. You think Pierre Beaufort was telling the truth about Turk? I just talked to Pierre Beaufort on the phone within the last week. True story. Just got caught up to speed with him. Saw he returned to the YouTubes, but I did not see his video. So let me take a peeky weeky here for a moment. Let me take a peek. Hold on, folks. We're going to do YouTube. Let me just mute this so nothing auto plays, because if you autoplay any song that you don't have the rights to, YouTube sends you a warning notice that you're a piece of a pure bullfit. I put not bullfit, I put bullshit. What does he say? Free programs, your string standards are dumb. Okay. My string standards are not dumb. I like them. Where's Turk? Bradley Martin. I see his Turkesterone review. What's the long and short of it? Let me pull it up here. Let me skip past the old Adaruskis. In the meantime, if you guys have a question, post it up now. We'll watch a bit from this. We'll watch just a small segment here. Let's see. Let me share the screen. Share screen. Application window. There he is. And let's see what he has to say.
All right, Greg, I put my money where your mouth is.
Hey, phrasing!
Yeah, I definitely could have phrased that better.
Okay. Waiting for it. Hang tough. We're getting there.
What's up, motivators? Welcome back. It's Kevin. This is Pure Bullfit, where we try to debunk fitness-related bullcrap, the bullfit, if you will, demystify fitness, and give you actionable information so you can live it.
Okay, that's going to be a long video, so I'm not going to bore you guys with that. But if anyone wants to give me the cliff notes, I'd appreciate it. Would you listen when you come to Scotland? We have to go to Australia next next fall. My wife's daughters are both having babies, and my wife is that old. Don't tell her I mentioned it. So we're looking to come back next spring. We're actually trying to figure out where we're going to move to. Not if we're going to stay in Ohio, get a second home. So we're thinking about it. Nicholas, he says it works and really doesn't really like Greg. So I will end on this note. We talked about this earlier, the training effect, and that is when you give a new variable to someone that the excitement, they tend to perform better. So if you give a new supplement, they're going to go in the gym with kind of a new energy level. So there's a built-in placebo effect. And I'm not using this as bias to tear down the efficacy of anything, but we need to understand this when we're introducing a variable to clients, or we are introducing a variable as trainees. We introduce something new into our program, and all of a sudden, boom, we're hitting plus ones because there's excitement, there's more drive. That's natural. That's the way human beings are. So the same thing can occur on any supplement. So we just need to know that. How would you balance the sport and lifting? I play hockey a few times a week. It is obviously not easy to crush any muscle group. Well, probably the best way for anybody is to do A-B splits. I give clients 4 workouts, A, B, C, and D. 2 uppers, which are chest, shoulder, and arms. 2 posteriors, which are basically back and legs. And they rotate between these workouts, these 4 workouts, inserting rest days as they need. So number 1, we're keeping a flex schedule, a flexible schedule, so you can insert more rest days. And because we're doing kind of an A-B split, we're not cramming a muscle group all in one session to the point where we have overly debilitating soreness. Rick, do you take anyone else's supplements in the industry? Good question. We take some stuff we get off Amazon, some really reputable vitamin D. We do our research. Joint XT is probably the top joint supplement. We take that. We take a couple things, but it's not specifically one brand, and we don't take a lot. B12, D3, joint supplements, and they're all different brands. We look for the best. What's the best? Well, it's hard to say, but we definitely have to do a lot of research. Thank you, Andreas. I appreciate it. And Raphael, don't be mad, but would you try Turk if we get Greg to send you a month's supply? No, I wouldn't. I have nothing to gain from it. It's not that I'm being dismissive, but I am, I'm not going to gain any more mass. And my training right now, after having COVID for 3 months, I'm still like at 80% of my strength. So I don't really like putting things into my body. And honestly, it's not anti-Turk. It's anything really. I'm just not going to do it. I have no interest. I'm over it. I'm over the whole look, I started in 86 where we had the hot stuff. They put every supplement known to man in a jug. It was like, whoa, we're going to get huge, right? Huge. Right. So, not so much. I've been around the block so many times. I don't even want to see the block anymore. That's as honest as I can get. For 5x5 shrugs, while adding weight and getting 15-ish reps, can anything no longer get the squeeze? Don't worry about the squeeze, because when it comes to traps training, what we're doing, even if you don't squeeze, we're getting contraction, we're getting time under tension, even holding here at arm's length. Your traps are working just to keep your arms attached to your body. So there's a constant tension. What we want to do is get in our volume with heavy weight while creating an environment where we get more overall tension. So I hope that helps. Don't worry about the squeeze much. Never been a squeezy. All right, guys, that's it. We are done with questions. I appreciate you joining me. Please head over to superlivingtoday.com, sign up for coaching. It's only $80 a month. Sign up for Team Massive. I got tons of workouts over there. If you need a workout or if you need a custom workout, I'd love to build you a custom workout. I'd love to work with you. This is my passion. This is what I do for a living. And I don't care about supplements. I don't care about anything. I care about helping you guys get results. So come work with me, and I appreciate you joining me. And Paul says, not only do we know if these supplements work, they might have side effects, like you might grow feathers. Well, then you could be a mutant. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and have a great weekend.